Cute. Check. Have you ever had a dream in the daytime? Had the same dream since the playground. If you made it come true, cause you stay down. Nigga, have you ever really thought about the limelight? In a room full of stars when you shine bright. I'ma make the right move when the time right. Alright. Nigga, have you ever had a dream during the daytime? Had the same dream since the playground. If you made it come true, cause you stay down. Nigga, have you ever really thought about the limelight? In a room full of stars when you shine bright. I'ma make the right move when the time right. Calculated every step, so I can't stand a hater out here hating on. Niggas out here making moves, see a hand out the type of shit they waiting on.
Yo, what's up out there, YouTube land? My man Chef said he wanted to do a show tonight about that CEO that got attacked out there, and I'm not as familiar with it as probably I should be. I know I've been trying to make a concerted effort to keep up with a lot of the current events, and lately it's been a little hectic over here a little bit as far as time wise. I've been trying to do a lot of things, life and not all bad. I try to keep my my life schedule as productive as possible, and try not to get I guess too distracted with things that aren't necessarily productive. But it happens from time to time. I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm perfect. But so tonight, so the short version is, right, this is what I know about it. I know that the guy who shot the CEO, and the guy's the CEO of the UnitedHealthCare, right? Which is a really big healthcare company. He took his time to engage or etch on each bullet a particular word. He shot him 3 times. This was very orchestrated, very, I'm not going to say organized, but certainly planned out, right? He appeared to know that he was going to run across this guy in this particular walkway, and he was going to have an opportunity to get off 3 shots, and he did, right? So on each bullet, it had what you see on the thumbnail. He had deny, defend, and depose, which is the mantra for healthcare, right? This is how they tend to deal with their problems. And so what their I guess general way of handling people who have insurance discrepancies is they attempt to put people through so much red tape and force them to have to go through this long, elongated process where the healthcare's first move is to deny. You're going to deny coverage, and their second move is to defend their position. And now I'm assuming here, I'm jumping ahead of the gun, that the third stage would be depose. And the way I've heard it said before was that means that you're going to now have to take them to court, right? And write a deposition and have to deal with all that stuff. So the average person is probably not well equipped to deal with the patience of that, right? Hopefully whatever you're going through isn't something that's making that process even more difficult. And I'm sure that could be a very stressful process for somebody. And then of course having to deal with whatever fees come involved with taking a huge healthcare organization who is very well lawyered up to have to take them to court and make a case for why you actually deserve your money or whatever resolution it is that you're fighting for. Peace to the chat, man. What's up with y'all? I appreciate y'all showing up. I'm trying to do the best I can to buy some time for Chef here. Y'all know he my DEI host. Y'all know how he be doing. Let me see if I can put something on the screen and maybe get familiar with it, little bit more familiar with it in real time. Give me a second here. I'm gonna share my screen. I already had it pulled up. Let me find out what tab it's under. Here we go. Yes, with the murder weapon and the clothes, right? And if I'm not mistaken, this is a few days later. I don't know exactly what day that was that he actually had allegedly did what he did there, but let me see. But he was caught with all the stuff that would basically say that you're guilty just by having this stuff in possession, So with that going to trial, and basically, the case is kind of closed right then and there. What are you doing with the stuff that the guy was wearing that attacked the guy, right? I mean, if you ask me, he wanted to get caught. I think this is more like a statement, right? Like he did all of this and he wanted it to be known who did it, and I'm curious to know if the whys have been solved yet, or why he did it, or what made him so upset that this was something that he would do. So apparently, the suspect's name is Luigi Mangione, if I'm saying that right. The suspect in last week's killing of UnitedHealthCare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City faced an extradition hearing on murder charges on Tuesday afternoon. Mangione was denied bail, but contested extradition to New York. Pennsylvania now has 30 days to get a warrant from Governor Kathy Hochul for the extradition. I need to know what that word is now because it keeps coming up. Let me see what kind of computer I got. What I got? Look up extradition. Do that right there on the screen. Boom. Extradition. The action of extraditing, or that wasn't very helpful. A person accused or convicted of a crime they fought to prevent his extradition, blah, blah, blah. Open in dictionary. What? This was not very helpful. Anyway, back to it. Mangione was remanded to the state correctional institution, Huntington in Huntingdon County, where the process now of securing the governor's warrant from the state of New York and will be prepared when the judge schedules the hearing to do what's necessary to get him back to New York. Blair County District Attorney Peter Weeks says authorities say that the extradition process to New York could now take as many as 30 days. Mangione newly retained defense attorney Thomas Dickey. So this is what basically happened, I believe, within the last 28, 48 hours. When they've had pictures of this guy, and not even full like facial pictures where we can like really recognize him. So I'm not really sure what led up to them being able to identify him as the guy. But it certainly seems like they had a trail that they've been working, and just it seems like they kept kind of quiet about it, but the whole time they had a few people in mind. Because I think there was something about like he was spotted coming into New York on a bus or something like that. That's why I wasn't really prepared for the show. This is Chef Show, so I don't like being up here giving y'all like spotty information. This isn't something that I previously looked up. If you're an American, you believe that the American criminal justice system, you have to presume him to be innocent, he says. None of us would want anything other than that if that were us in those shoes. Mangione did not seem to be nervous in the courtroom. As he awaited for the judge, he looked around at the rows of reporters, seeming to count the number of people in the room. At times he smiled, and at one point even interrupted his own defense attorney, who quickly hushed him. Well, he was tripping. I don't think getting away is a priority at all for this guy. It didn't seem like that's what he was trying to do. Right before entering the courthouse, however, Mangione was seen on the video pulling away from members of the Blair County Sheriff Department and screaming, "This is completely out of touch," and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and their lived experiences. Before he was pinned against the wall and forced inside, it's unclear what he was responding to. He had a mask and a hood and a backpack. Investigators are pouring through what they call a mountain of evidence, trying to fill in the gaps of his journey and determine if he acted alone. 26-year-old, this guy was super young. This guy was super duper young. So it makes me really wonder, what his beef particularly would have been with either this guy, his company. Definitely raises a lot of questions for me. I'm interested in knowing why he did it for sure. The 26-year-old was caught 5 days after the shooting. Clear. The 26-year-old was caught 5 days after the shooting, after a customer spotted him at a McDonald's in Ataluna, which is about 300 miles away from the shooting scene in Midtown Manhattan. A witness named Larry said he and his friend saw Mangione sitting alone. He had a mask, a hood, and a backpack, said Larry, a regular at the fast food restaurant. The one guy said, "It looks like the shooter from New York." Well, then we laughed, and I guess he placed, and the screen keeps jumping around, and I guess he placed his order and went on about his business. But we were kidding. Like, wouldn't that be something? Another customer recognized Mangione from the wanted photos and told an employee who called the police. Officers responded and began asking Mangione if he had recently been to New York City. He became visibly nervous, kind of shaking at that question, and he didn't really answer it directly. Altoona Police Department Chief Derek Swoop told reporters on Monday. When prompted for his ID, police said he gave a fake New Jersey driver's license, which investigators believe was the same one used to check into a Manhattan hostel 10 days before the shooting. Hold up, let me, I think this is Chef. Let me go ahead and send out the link. One second, y'all. 1 second. Yard.
AOX9.
Yeah. Check. With no discussion, bars to your chest, I have your shoulders touching. So dope, get flagged by US Customs, you just robotussing. Bitches, I just love a lust. Quickly get they soul adjust. Nostril hairs on polar bears, ain't nowhere near as cold as us. A bad bitch vocalist be stroking this. Microphone check, 1, 2, I'm on like a broken switch. Higher than these Bitcoin stock prices. Pull a bad bitch on site license. Badu to the ice spices. Love how I eloquently vocalize a business plan. Flying piece of peanut butter breath like I'm Peter Pan. He the man, had a white bitch, but she need a tan. I'm very pan, Afghan from the motherland. pan, let it sizzle. Now we cooking, I'm about to do my dance. Got a booking overseas, I'm about to groove with friends. Kept it P, kept it solid, now all my moves advanced. Enhanced the vision, the psilocybin business. Got me and my mans advanced in business. Can I get an A-man to witness? Cause you can be a man and witness that Satan is relentless. It's DQ.
TriMedia Records.
This is my story. Get the story.
On your ID, you see me calling nigga. Out of his league, a workaholic nigga. Nickname, big game, big thing. Handle his business, he never switched lanes. Had some brain surgeries in high school. Still came out that bitch a top dude. Moved to the city of the Mavericks. Came out this bitch dropping classics.
All right, hang tight for me for one more commercial, y'all. I'm sending them the link right now. Just got off the phone with
TriMedia. Hey, TriMedia. It's DQ, baby. TriMedia. Check. TriMedia innovations, we got them waiting. Took a little minute, was patient, but now we take it. Anytime we want in this game, my situation is entertainment intertwined with information. Alchemist soul, how we move the tassel and roll. It's amazing how we can turn something brass to gold. And we steady making hits. Architect with the prop in the scripts. It's logical that the product will flip. My boy Chef did the lineup, I'm fresh in the bitch. Carnivorous Podcast and newest show on the list. DQ on the boat, so I'm rocking the ship. While the music gon' be dope and the artist legit. Hold my beard, concrete cord, then stepped in the door. See, that's my man and he reppin' for show. And true saviors a player with flavor. Lexicon Taylor, lines on point like a laser. We need that paper, we building the vault. Cause you niggas don't listen, y'all be waiting to talk. Lack accountability and try to make it our fault. But opposing us is trying to arm wrestle the hawk. You coming up short on your re-up, cause nigga we up. Really wouldn't want to be up. I kick my feet up. My beef is wagyu and my trunk is all speakers. Bills is all blue and my blunt is all reefer. Responsible deniability, that boy eater. High quality whack juice by the liter. They like to call us ops, we got Oppenheimer features. That's the bomb out on the island just to teach you.
Yeah, man. Back from that commercial break, man. That's a song right there from DQ. Oh man, he did that, bro. It's actually cool, man. Like it's such a crazy thing to know. I mean, I'm getting to know DQ. You know, we cool. I get to talk to him. You know, on a personal basis. It's a cool thing to be associated with somebody that talented and that like down to earth. Like you would never guess that this dude, you know, is able to produce art like that. And you know, it's not really like, you know, there's no air of arrogance around the ability to do something like that. That's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Cause I remember meeting him in the Pseudo Killers Discord, and I just like heard he made music. It wasn't like something that I had access to or nothing like that. But man, you know, to hear it and see him like you know, see that he's doing that on a regular basis and he keep putting out stuff every time, that's be tight. That's actually tight. And I'm not even the biggest rap fan, and I think it's tight. So it's fine, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's actually super tight. So where was I, man? I'm trying to read it exciting. I don't want y'all to, you know, doze off on me right now because I gotta get familiar with this. So I'm not gonna be able to really hold a halfway decent conversation about it. I don't wanna just be up here flamming. I don't do that. That ain't my jam. Look at this guy. What do you have on his mind, y'all? What was he thinking? What was he thinking when he etched them words in that bullet? I mean, if that ain't personal, what is, right? You know, imagine sitting at home or however you loading it up. Sorry about that. Or however you loading it up, and actually, I don't know, however you're doing it. I'd imagine, I don't know, a razor blade or something really sharp, or something to where you can repeatedly make this mark in this bullet casing over and over and over again like that. That's tough. This is where we were, right? We didn't think twice about it. We knew it was our guy. Wow. So they felt like this was the guy the whole time. That's very interesting. Police arrested Mangione on a forgery charge. That's weird. Not for doing the New York thing. They're arrested on a forgery. And once in custody, they searched his backpack and found a U.S. passport, clothes, and that matched the gunman's description, and a 3D printed pistol with a suppressor that was consistent with the murder weapon and the 3-page handwritten note. Uh-oh, here we go. We're getting into the good stuff right here. Imagine that, a 3D printed pistol, right? Dang, this dude made all of that at his house. Potentially. Police sources say investigators were referring to the note as a claim of responsibility. Intelligence officers with the NYPD believe that the suspect's grievances about the UnitedHealthCare and other health insurance companies are what motivated the incident. Try to be careful with the words you use on YouTube. We don't think there's any specific threats to others mentioned in the document, but it does seem he has some ill will towards corporate America. NYPD Chief of Detectives Joseph Kennedy said, the McDonald's has since hired private security because employees told police they were worried for their safety. And the Altoona Police Department itself has been receiving multiple emails and calls, including death threats, since Monday's arrest. Okay, I guess that's the police department receiving death threats. That's weird. What's up, Chef?
What's up, Logic? What's going on with you? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Be clear.
Good. Go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
I mean, what did you know much about this before we hit the button, or you had some stuff that you wanted to bring up about it?
No, I didn't. It's just everybody been talking about it, so.
Okay. I'll finish reading the article and we can talk about it.
Okay, go.
Let's see. Police also said Mangione was carrying various electronic devices, which they believed he was using to evade detection. He was very careful with trying to stay low profile, avoid cameras, said Pennsylvania Police Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens. Investigators said the most crucial clue in the investigation was a photo from the hostel where the suspect pulled down his mask. I guess that's what this is right here. The NYPD has been working around the clock to track his movements from his arrival by bus to the New York City to his escape from the crime scene by bicycle to Central Park, and his taxi ride to an uptown bus terminal where they believed he fled. Police believed he left New York City and had been traveling around Pennsylvania in the days after. They believe he took a Greyhound bus to Philadelphia and spent some time there before going to Pittsburgh and eventually Altoona. If you have any information regarding this suspect or his travels throughout Pennsylvania, please share those tips with us immediately. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. That's Ben Shapiro. Okay. News has learned Mangione, is from a prominent Maryland family that owns country clubs, healthcare facilities, and real estate companies. He graduated valedictorian from a private all-boys Gilman School, got his master's in engineering from the University of Pennsylvania, and also has ties to Stanford. So this kid was smart. He was smart. Valedictorian at a private school, I mean, that's pretty smart, but a master's in engineering, everybody ain't doing that. Everybody's definitely not doing that. Stanford, Ivy League, that's good stuff right there. So he was well educated. You know, there's absolutely no questions about that. Freddie Leatherbury, a former prep school classmate and childhood friend, said Mangione was nice, smart, and didn't have any enemies during his time at school. I can tell you that this is one of the last people you would think would do something like this. Why does that always people always say that? You know, he was one of the nicest kids, most friendliest kids that I had known in Gilman, Leatherbury said. There was nothing that came off weird about him. He had great friends, Leatherbury added. He was down to earth. He was smart, well adjusted socially. He was at least a wow, it's jumping around. At least a two-sport athlete from what I can remember. And he really had everything going for him. Leatherbury said he hasn't been in contact with Mangione in years. Hope that they can heal as a family, and certainly the family, of course, of Brian Thompson, of course, is in everybody's forefront. Thoughts and prayers as well. That just tear dang it's jumping around. That's just terrible for them too, Leatherbury said. The Mangione family released a statement overnight saying that they were devastated and shocked by the news. Unfortunately, we cannot comment on the news reports regarding Luigi Mangione. We only know what we have read on the media. Our family is shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest. The statement read, "We offer our prayers to the family of Brian Thompson, and we ask people to pray for all involved. We are devastated by this news." Pretty redundant. According to his LinkedIn account, Mangione last worked as a data engineer at a vehicle buying website called TrueCar in 2023. In recent months, posts tagging him. Hold up, somebody's coming in. Who's that? Oh, yeah, he can get up whenever you feel like it. Let's see. Back to share. Where was I? In recent months, posts tagging him on social media implied that he lost touch with friends, with some asking where he was and what he was doing, and wishing him the best and hoping that he was okay. So last couple months, he began to socially isolate himself, and nobody really saw any signs of violent criminal activity. And then all of a sudden, you get what happened in New York. That's unfortunate. CBS News has also learned Mangione had been living at a co-worker and co-living space called Surf Break in Honolulu up until 2022. When a spokesperson for that community said he'd left due to a lifelong back injury that was exacerbated by surfing and hiking. Sources tell CBS exacerbated. Yeah, that's what
Exacerbating.
Yep, you said it. Sources tell CBS News back pain was a major factor of his life and appeared to be the source of pain and frustration for him. I was soon roommates with him, friends. Hiked, went to yoga. He did his best to be an athlete, said RJ Martin, a former acquaintance from Surf Break. Unfathomable, knowing the kind of person that I saw and knew. Personally, I can make zero sense of it. There is never a justification for violence. The spokesperson said that they believe Mangione returned to Hawaii in 2023 to start a book club, which they said several members left due to discomfort in book choices. And that's the whole article. So it gave us a little bit of about his personal character. All the people close to him said didn't really see any signs of violent criminal activity. All signs point to the kid making good grades. I'm guessing if if it said he had a pretty prominent family, so I'd imagine his upbringing is fairly normal. It sounds like his social life in high school is pretty normal. So, uh, yeah, it's like the all too familiar. We would never expect this guy to do something like this. I wonder what role his chronic back pain played in his actions. That's something that the article thought was important enough to bring up. What y'all
Well,
think?
he had a good evening, y'all. He had a manifesto. So this was this was more diabolical than it's even letting on. When they arrested him today and brought him into the precinct, he started screaming about, um, how everything we know is a lie and all of that stuff. He's kind of like on that angle. So he's not. This isn't. This is specifically that he said it's not no kind of. He didn't have any help. He has some grievances against the corporate system. This is literally corporate. It was profit driven. He was calling them in the manifesto. He said it's necessary. He was calling them um, parasites. He had complications from surgery. Um,
Peace. All of these charges are alleged, by the way. These are alleged crimes. Let's just keep that in mind for sakes of the
yeah,
channel. Allegedly.
yeah. Just say yeah. It's alleged. He was charged, and he had some issues, and he's one of those people that will pick up a gun. Oh, not will, but whatever. All of this is alleged. I'm gonna just say it at that. But he's the type of person that you know, they found he has damning evidence. The evidence is definitely against him, no question. They found the gun. They found the clothing. He was identified by a few people, and then on top of that, like I said, when he got arrested, he said he did it himself. This isn't like a what's the name? So,
I think Brad spoke to it a few days ago. By the way, peace to the chat. Like, share, subscribe. Peace to Carnivorous Podcast, Chef and everyone. On the shell casings, there were words similar to this book. This was on the news briefly, and they didn't really touch on it. Pause. Only because Brass is here, you get a pause. And this book came out in 2010. And the title says it all. Delay, deny, defend why insurance companies don't pay claims and what you can do about it. Anyone, whether you have substantial means of income or not, I will give just a personal example. I just had rotator cuff surgery. And the bill for that is, not to me personally, $500,000. $500,000 for 3.5 hours worth of work. My rotator cuff was really messed up. It normally would take maybe 2 hours. The doctor told me, and I know that covers the nursing staff, anesthesia. I'm sure the pillowcase and the blanket they gave me was probably $500-600. But costs and again, I guess we don't know his absolute purpose for this, but I believe what was written on the shell cases was something similar to this, and they attribute it on the news, or they allege that it may have something to do with this book, which came out in 2010. And speaking of books, let me share real quick because we have to take care of our family, right? Daquan Hampton exploring Texas ponds. I gotta change the screen. Let me do that. Let me do some housekeeping, right? While we're here. Peace to Brass. Peace to DQ. Peace to Logic. And we just want to, since we're going to have a book up on the screen, share our brother's book. Our multifaceted, multi-talented young partner in our business over here at TriMedia, DQ Hampton. His book is also available on Amazon. And
Appreciate
I will
you.
stop. I just wanted to pop in and say what's up to y'all. I'm around if y'all need anything. And Brass, don't be up here starting trouble. Let's get that out the way too.
No, I'm good. I like this. I like these kinds of stories. This is like a John Grisham novel for real. You know, these healthcare insurance companies are in trouble for, um, you know, denying claims. You know, they denied it a few times before they actually even do it. So they just want to see how serious you are. So they'll deny it like 3 or 4 times, and then if you don't, because most people quit after the third or fourth time. So that's the defend, deny, depose. There's a company, you can look it up or Google it. There's a company that's in trouble for using AI to just deny claims. Like they just were denying whether it was real or otherwise. So it gets a little crazy. I would never say somebody should go this far, but then again, I don't know his story. He seems like an intelligent young man. Valedictorian of his high school. Everybody spoke highly of him, but everybody has a limit. Though. Everybody has a limit. Like I say this all the time. My grandmother says everybody ain't playing. When you messing around with people and talking trash and this, that, and the third, everybody's not playing. Somebody might pull up and do that. There's another little rumor too that's pretty good, is that if you watch the video of him allegedly shooting the CEO of the corporation, it's a 3D printed gun. That's why he kept having to reload it. If you were really watching the video, he shot first, reloaded, shot, reloaded. So they're saying that the gun is reloaded, and that it was a 3D gun, so it was in his possession. So that's another little interesting tidbit.
I got a little peace, everybody. Peace, everybody.
What's that?
Chilling. I got a little tidbit. If you look on Amazon, the Luigi Mario hat, there was over 10,000 of them sold. So everybody want to buy Luigi. Yeah. Well, America is different.
I think the Biden administration has driven everybody absolutely crazy.
Oh shit!
Hold on.
I told him not to act up.
I told him not to act up, and y'all see what he does.
I can't even finish my sentence.
No, because he went right.
Oh man, I can't even. DQ,
I told you,
see how
DQ.
they do me, bro? I can't even finish my sentence.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I think the healthcare corporations and their charges, and along with inflation and the rising cost of goods, is just driving people absolutely crazy underneath the Biden-Harris administration. And thank God there'll be a change come January, and you won't see these kinds of things. You know what I mean? We can get RFK in there, let him sort a couple things out, and we'll move forward. But yeah, y'all go ahead, man. I just want to just give y'all
Sosa. Now that Brass is done capping for his crew, Sosa's comment on the screen, right? Fight the power. I seen on different pro-black channels, pro revolution, revolt, anti-establishment channels that should we be saying free Luigi from the African American standpoint of maybe struggle and trying to fight the system and the man, right? That, and I think we talked about wokeness too last week, right? We talked about wokeness too, right? Would this fall under that umbrella? And again, his charges are alleged. All of that stuff is alleged. That his manifesto and his action was based on his hatred or disgruntled nature towards healthcare or whatever. Someone who comes from means, intelligent, educated, right? So I seen in different channels. I guess we could later on in the show talk about things like that. Is should he be hashtag free Luigi, right? And that goes in line with what DQ was saying about the clothing, the Mario Luigi clothing just like flying off the shelf. So definitely in the chat, let us know what y'all think about that. Peace to everybody in chat too, by the way.
See, I can't relate necessarily with it. I mean, I have healthcare, had healthcare my entire life. I've never had that issue, nothing like that. But I could just imagine what life in the United States as a adult is without healthcare. It has to be. You're ready to just lose it. You have to be, because it's these costs. My nephew just had a child about 2 years ago, and he didn't believe me, but I was telling him about the they're gonna, that stuff. I don't know if y'all ever been in the delivery room, but all that little stuff, those little made up milk, those blankets, those all of that stuff, take it with you. Everything on that cart, take it with you, because at the end of the day, you're paying for all of that stuff. So they didn't believe me. I literally went up there and took everything. I took the blankets, the little made up bottles already, the Pampers, the disposable pacifiers and things, because these are things, when you go through that itemized bill, you're talking about, some of these births are $1 million births, $1 million. Especially if you got complications where you got to do some surgery, you got to stay a couple of nights. So healthcare is crazy in the United States. It's crazy. I don't know what it's like in other places, but you have to you got to you don't got to go shooting CEOs though. I'm not saying that, but I'm pretty sure it is pretty. We all saw John Q. Right?
Shit, my doctor bill, just the doctor bill, not the hospital bill. Just the doctor bill who did my 2 brain surgery was $500,000.
And that's
my
cheap.
dad, let me say,
That's
luckily
cheap.
my daddy had the what's his face, post office federal insurance. But yeah, I was in the hospital for 4 months, so you can just imagine how that shit added up. It was just crazy.
And trust me, you got off cheap. You got off cheap, bro. $500,000 for brain surgery. That's not even. I think that would probably start at $1 million. Who's in here? I'm not looking at the screen. Who's all in here?
Logic.
Chef is here. Logic's here.
What's going on, Chef?
What's up with y'all? Chilling?
What's going on, bro?
Oh, yeah, chilling.
Sosa, that brother is not light skinned.
Yeah, I told y'all didn't believe me when I was saying that. At the press conference, they was calling him light skinned. They wasn't calling him white. They was calling him. They said a light skinned man.
They say he's Sicilian.
He Mediterranean. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah,
he's black. He's black. Ask Hannibal. Ask Hannibal about what he is. He's definitely
Mediterranean. He one of the Levant niggas. As my man Corey was saying, Levant nigga.
He said Levant. They said Luigi, a Baltimore legend. Heathcliff.
Shit, wow. Not a legend. All right.
Chef probably cut his hair before. Hold on, Chef might have cut his. Chef, you don't recognize?
Well, Chef had learned on one of them mannequins on him.
Jesus,
are y'all?
He literally like one of Chef mannequins.
What's y'all's opinion about the whole people's champ narrative type thing that people got going around? What y'all thinking about that?
I'm not celebrating nobody, killing nobody for stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Like on the attack the system, fight the power narrative, they're debating again. Is there a free Luigi movement?
Yes, there is one. There's always going to be one because this is America. If you substitute this picture right now and had who is King Von, you will have many people in here like, oh yeah, he was representing for his block. And bro, America loves people who take shit into their own hands. I guess just sum it up like that. We love our own vigilante people. There's a reason
He
why,
loved it.
like, you really boil it down, bro. Batman is nobody but a rich nigga beating up on people. But for the stance of fighting for something, he's a good vigilante. So in some people's eyes, they're gonna look at Luigi as a hero. Real talk.
Yeah, I
But
think
it's always an opportunity to, Brass. I didn't mean to cut you, but for us to
no,
dig
go ahead.
further into like just a company like United Healthcare. Earlier this year, they had that data breach, and some people we know were affected because the billing was affected, the claims were affected, care was affected. I was looking at something recently that said right after that happened, a lot of smaller doctors' offices, emergency care centers couldn't
Started
get
closing.
paid because the claim part of the network was down. And
Mm-hmm.
United Healthcare went in and bought those companies out. And that's where you get the corporate intervention. That's a problem where you have the provider, the claim service, and the insurance company all owned by the same people. And since they're corporations, what is their goal? Profit for who? Shareholders, stakeholders. So hopefully it makes people think, a little bit more critical and dig into these things. So when you get a bill, you understand. If you just Google sometimes who owns these companies and the changes that they might have went through prior, to turn these things into profits and not just care.
Yeah, and the second part too for me is, you know, we was having a conversation today in the Discord about revolutionaries and all of that. You killing a CEO, but he's just a hired hand of whatever. There's a board, there's the actual claims department. They're the people that come up with these things. So you killing the CEO of the healthcare company. All you're doing is now they're gonna have more security. They're gonna pull the names down off that website, so now you don't know who the CEO is or who this is. You're just killing people, and you'll be furious if they was doing it to us. If they found a reason to. You never want to play that game and start justifying just retribution and murder and stuff like that, because just as easily as it happens to them, it's just something that can happen to us easily, and it'll start happening with politicians, black politicians, black business. They'll start bombing. What if they started just bombing black business just cause? You don't want to. We don't live in a country where, well, at least openly, not like other countries where everything is just death. The answer is death. If they don't like the election, kill the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to go that path. Let other people do that ignorant stuff.
You can bankrupt a black business. You don't have to bomb it. And I'm not justifying either means, but the length that people go through to sometimes is for your target. You can bankrupt a community. You could starve a community, not of necessarily food, but of resources, and make things difficult. How do you do that to a $1 billion corporation? And again, this TriMedia does not condone
any of
violence
this,
in any
none
manner
of it.
like that.
Yeah,
These charges are alleged on this young man or whoever, but definitely a lot of questions.
Because it's like, if that's the case, then what could happen? Chef do a bad haircut. Somebody 6 o'clock in the morning just pull up. The chef out here messing up hairlines and all kind of mess. See how that works? See how crazy it get? You just start killing people for everything. It's unnecessary. And ain't no guy named Mangione a revolutionary for me ever.
Or you run up in the Capitol, and that was a jab back at you, Bryce.
Oh, I could dig it. Hey, he running. Hey, guess what though? He running back up in the Capitol in January. You going?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the people who behind bars. Yeah, he didn't run up nowhere. I'm
I mean, he gonna run up in the White House. He gonna run up in the lawn.
Yeah.
He gonna do a lot of running
and
up.
The people he following is running up in commissary right now.
Yeah, that's fine. But hey, guess what? Hey, I learned about this. I learned about this power that you get to use, man. That was used so strongly.
Hey, we shall see.
I hope he does. I hope he pardons every single one of them.
Okay, so then let this young man walk, because a few people died that day, right? January 6th. They only show the the crowds. You know, it's good for news. It's good for
Yeah,
ratings and things like that to show crowds and flags and barriers being broken down. But a few people did lose their life that day. So,
yeah, that was a tough thing. And mind you, I say all of this in jest. I hope anybody who committed a crime on that day um, is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, because it's against the Constitution. And once you start playing around with the Constitution and sedition and treason, we're no different than the third world countries I make fun
that's
of every
facts.
chance I get.
Did anybody notice how many photographs they have of this young man? Like I seen
Social
online,
media.
like no, the custody photographs that the police department has to put out. Like they got him in like every step behind the scenes with his clothes on, you know, his street clothes to his holding cell clothes to all, like they just showing off with the photographs, custody photographs. I mean, not his social media, but they just they patting themselves on the back for, I believe, what a McDonald's worker called out, right? And there was $60K on his head too, right?
Yeah,
I think 60
but
grand.
I think too, the thing with this is, once you start committing crimes like that, the police are definitely gonna like make it a point of, we got to get this guy. Because if you don't, let's say you got this quote unquote vigilante, just you just basically licensed a lot of other people to just go crazy. That's what you did. If you can't catch him, and the thing is like, he's doing it with all the new tools, the 3D printing guns, the manifestos and things like that. So, I mean, this is Unabomber type stuff. We're talking about manifestos and defend, deny, depose. This is a John Grisham novel in real time. This is like a social media murder. There'll be a movie made about this. Trust me. There'll be a Lifetime series. There'll be some Netflix action going. This is a
What if
good
we
one.
find out he was just mad? Because someone like the Unabomber was over years, and his targets were specific, and I know it's way too early, right? And here's another thing we need to think about before we do hashtag Free Luigi. His defense, his lawyer team, because his people got money, may look different than if one of us did this, what our defense team would look like, right? So before we go patting Luigi on the back, and this goes for everybody, not just social media, that his defense and how this plays out may not work, no matter what Sosa says. This man being light skinned.
What does Sosa say?
No matter what Sosa saying.
What is he saying?
Sosa said he light skinned.
I told you that's what they said in the
he
press
put free the
conference.
guys. He didn't put free Luigi.
Yeah, when they were hunting him, they said there's a light skinned man at large. They knew I mean, you could look at it. You could tell he was white at a bare minimum, Middle Eastern maybe. But they just kept saying it over and over again on purpose. Like, light skinned man, light skinned man, light skinned man. It's crazy.
But black people know he wasn't. He wasn't one of us. We could just look at that little space that they showed of his face. White people may get confused. Oh, he may be. No, we know who's us. That's joking. So we don't need a whole Black Egypt DNA argument in the chat either. But yeah,
So what else y'all got? What about everybody's so quiet? Like, turn the energy up. What the hell y'all doing? Y'all just
Is there
listening
a
to
game
stuff?
on? I don't know. Y'all sports.
Yeah,
Is there a game
what y'all
on?
doing?
Hey,
Logic
I'm just paying attention.
Logic,
I think
Pro
Logic had a
Payton,
slide.
Chef cutting hair. What the hell y'all doing?
No, I'm like I said, I didn't know much about it, so I'm taking I'm not gonna say that. I'm just checking.
I was waiting.
Only
Right.
because Brass is on the panel.
I was
Right.
waiting because I know he's about to say something absolutely wild, bro.
Y'all will be surprised at how much of current news I don't pay attention to.
Y'all weren't discussing this in the barbershop, bro?
No, not really. I mean, people say something about it, but no, not. It only started picking up here once we found out that he was from here. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's of no concern to us, pretty much. Most of these niggas in Baltimore don't got health
Wait, he's
insurance
from
any
Maryland?
goddamn way.
He's from Maryland?
Yeah, he from Baltimore.
They
Little
showed his
Italy.
ID online. He's from, it
Mm.
said he was, his ID said New Jersey. And I was like, we don't claim him.
No,
They showed his
grew,
ID.
he grew up here.
Oh,
You know what
wow.
I mean? Yeah. So, matter of fact, one of my students, it's crazy. One of my students said her brother went to school with him at Gilman. You know what I mean?
That's
So I said, damn. You know, said he was valedictorian. I said, oh, yeah. But like I said, nobody would ever think that he would do something like that. But what my man say on Juice? What was his name? Samuel L. Jackson. What he said in Juice. Man, I knew a lot of killers since they was kids. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because Q was like, man, you knew me since I was a kid. I
You
know
saw
a
him.
lot of killers.
Yeah, when he was talking to Quincy.
Yeah.
At the arcade, he was like, "You know me since I was a
Mhm.
kid." He said, "No, a lot of killers was in this kid."
Right. So,
Gotta
you know,
love
that
Samuel
ain't,
Jackson, bro.
yeah, that ain't no damn defense. You know, you know
Never,
me since I grew
never.
up with him. I couldn't see it. I mean, man, what?
No,
Every
you
killer
never
was a
know.
kid at one time. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then too, like I said, you know, back pain. Anybody who's ever had back pain will tell you, back pain is probably damn near the worst pain you can have, because it's literally wherever you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't sit, you can't walk, you can't stand. It's like your back. You don't realize the muscles that, like, you know, your core and your back use until you injure your back. And I think, you know, they say there's complications from surgery. Anybody, let me tell you something. Anybody that's drawing words on bullets is diabolical. You're just diabolical. Like, if not only do you want to kill the man, you want the message. You like, listen, they're gonna. And I don't think he really cared about being caught. I know he ran. And stuff. I know he got out of Dodge and stuff. But if you writing manifestos, one of the pundits on CNN today said, if you're writing manifestos, you know you're preparing for when you get caught. Not that you don't want to get caught. You want this to what do they call it? You want to be a martyr. You know, you want to be what Sosa, so Sosa could look up to you. And but Sosa ain't gonna shoot nobody. Sosa just gonna have the back problem, and that's it.
Yeah, there's like 5 different things going on, you know, which is it's good for critical thinkers, right? It connects to anyone who's obviously had any procedure or had to deal with healthcare, and someone who's upset at a not just the system, but as an individual, the leader of a company. And I think he shot him in the back, allegedly, right? He shot him in the back. I don't think it was.
Yeah, he walked up 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think
6
he
a.m. in the
waited.
morning.
Yeah, I think he waited. That's you know, that's all premeditated, not in a legal sense, but that's a thought process. And they show some of his history. He's not a stupid person by educational standards. He comes from means. That it should make you think, what would make a person that probably could pay the bill, probably could deal with the healthcare system in its current state, throw their life away, completely throw their life away. And I wouldn't think that on the other end is, I'm going to get some sort of privilege in court because I can afford good lawyers. Like, I don't think those two thoughts go in the same brain for the most
Let
part.
me look at that quote right there. Why do we never condone violence? Now, this is the conversation I had with some friends and some family members a few, like 2 days ago, that we've gone. There was a time, I guess, in the 60s, 70s, this, that, and the other, with the I guess the Black Panthers. I don't want to say that they condone violence, but there was a time when you was willing to do stuff, to set a message like this. And now we've kind of come to the point where we don't really condone violence anymore. Why do you think that is, though? That's a good question, Tuck. Shouts to you. That's actually a good question. What do you? Why don't we want to, grab a gun and solve these issues or do something like that? Well,
I
as a
don't know
people.
what news y'all watching. I really don't know what y'all watching. That statement, if you go on TikTok, you're gonna see violence in a Waffle House
No, he
regularly.
mean like
No,
for
gun
change, not
violence,
random violence.
anti-establishment
Yeah,
violence. That's
anti-establishment. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
okay. And I think the Panthers, just to use that, I think they were all educated. They're leaders. These weren't downtrodden people. These were like college level gentlemen and
Right.
women. And now gun violence,
They were
and
law
see,
students.
yeah, this attack is and that's what I was saying. It's very specific. It's a CEO of a healthcare company in broad daylight, headed to a meeting, obviously with no security. That's a specific target. So his anti would be anti CEO, anti UnitedHealthCare. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to look further, anti healthcare system.
Yeah, in
Now,
the United
anything
States.
further than that, you can surmise. I guess we'll find out in court, or as they find out more about them. But not that we condone violence, we engage in violence regularly.
Right.
Shit, dash cams. We do it, and it seems like to each other. I believe that's a proximity thing. I don't think black people go out of their way, or white people go out of their way in everyday life to violently hurt someone that looks like them or works next to them. It's just that it's proximity. But no, I think we do condone violence. I think America condones it. Look at the movies. I'm sure we can go to a government website like FBI or whatever, just to see if violence is up or down. Gun violence, spousal abuse, child abuse, workplace violence. So I think we do. I'm on the opposite end of it. I
When they
think
were
we do.
walking them into the courtroom, he yelled out, "It's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people, its lived experience." And when they caught him, he had multiple fake IDs, fake passports, a 3D printed gun with a suppressor. Because I remember when I saw the shots that he took. First off, he hunted that man. He was across the street. The CEO walked out like he was going to walk into the building. And then he started running at him and shooting across the street. And then he hit him in the back and then walked up on him and killed him. But he kept reloading the gun. And I kept saying, I never seen a pistol like that where you have to keep reloading after every shot. So it being a 3D printed gun makes a lot of sense, because in New Jersey, these they call them ghost guns. Well, I don't know if it's just in New Jersey, but there's a law that they've been trying to pass out here called ghost guns, because 3D printed guns are they're undetectable by law enforcement. Because they don't follow the same rules that they make gun companies follow. This is called, follow. This is something that you just created. So I don't know. Tuck says, "We've seen many leaders slain and dismantled using violence, and we tuck our tail now." Yeah, they did. They used it on us. What was the black leader that was Medgar Evers killed in his driveway? Martin Luther King killed on the balcony. Malcolm X. I mean, they've used it on us. To dismantle. COINTELPRO. If you go back into these COINTELPRO things, Fred Hampton. If you're trying to dismantle, especially a black group, you kill them with information, and then if that doesn't work, you start killing off the leaders or throwing them in jail.
Or you co-opt and you create dissension. That was a common practice, right? Within a group, you send in informants.
What is this?
How many people had 3D printer on their Christmas list? Now, just assuming these devices, and this is again, TriMedia is not endorsing anyone buy a 3D printer, anything for anything but some
not.
creative uses, right? But even these, right? I'm sure they run off programming. It's probably not to the level of AI where you can just type in, make me a Matchbox car or a wrench for my, bicycle or whatever. I'm sure specific programs, and it's not to say he made it, but I think people may think a 3D printer is something that's super expensive. They used to be. Look, it's right on Amazon. Do not print a weapon, y'all. You will get in trouble. And I'm sure they run off a program that would allow you to print certain things. So a GUN program may be something different. And a lot of those guns, I don't think they're multi fire. And I know nothing about weapons, but I do know something about like technology. Those type that you can repeatedly fire, I believe, are made up of different pieces. Now you can 3D print different pieces, but they have single use ones. They may have one that can fire a few rounds, but yeah, they used to be expensive 3D printers. They're not that expensive. It's good to get your kids, to use things like this.
A hits, man.
Go ahead, bro.
What is up with this $200 a month Chat GPT? What is that about?
I just saw something about that today, so I don't know. If I had to guess, it's an enterprise price for a business, and it's going to cover all of the bases, similar to something like a Microsoft Office suite, or a whole suite of Google tools. That's what I would think it is. Or it's literally all in one. But I wouldn't think that's personal use. That sounds more like enterprise or business use, if I had to guess. But what I'll do is tomorrow I'll look it up and see. But no one should be spending $200 a month for something that's quote unquote free on other platforms. But I wouldn't take that as a personal price. That sounds more business related.
Yeah, I was looking at it, man, and they show it thinking. You know what I mean? When you put something as thinking, man, and it's more of a conversation. Oh man, it was awesome. I watched a couple videos on it, and I said, man, what would I need for me to decide to spend $200? That's like my phone bill. Like, would I ever need to pay a phone bill for AI a month? You dig what I'm saying? So,
yeah, that's let me look real quick just to see if that makes I've seen some people writing about it online, but I assumed it was business for a business use, or it would encompass everything. It would have to handle your internet service. It would have to handle your messaging services, your art platforms, anything like Canva and things like that, your social media. It literally would have to handle everything.
Mm-hmm.
where now you're not paying $110 for your phone service. You're not paying $20 a month for your Canva account. You're not paying $30 a month for this, $10 here. It literally would have to do everything. They're headed in that direction, I guess, to make it something similar to Google or Microsoft. They're headed there, but I can't see nobody paying it. What's OpenAI? Let me just see what it is.
Oh, so you saying you don't even see yourself paying for it?
Oh,
so.
hell no!
Okay.
That thing would have to drive my car.
Oh,
for
so
like
I'm
200.
tripping. Because I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out a way where it was justifiable for me to get it, but you saying, all right, cool.
Yeah, it
I can
sounds
chill out.
like. Hold on, let me just read it. Not read it, but it looks like for a full year. It's probably like research. I'm just trying to see what this $200 is. Technical work. Yeah, that sounds business related, because that's nothing for a business to spend, and it would have to have all the security features. It would have to have, because you would have to put your personal and your business information into this thing. So all of that has to be built in. Security, it has to be proprietary for your specific use. Yeah, that's not personal. Hell no. Ain't nobody paying that. People don't even want to spend $20 a month. I ain't mad either, you know. I only pay for one. I only pay for ChatGPT. I'm not paying for Gemini. I'm not paying for Claude. I'm not paying for Perplexity. No. ChatGPT is enough. Trust me. Well, me, for what I use it for, but nah. What else is going on in the world? Jigga Man. I know we got some Jigga. Where Brass at? Jigga.
Oh man, don't start. Brass gonna have a fit.
Oh, peace out, Chuck. He said it's hunting season. He said maybe one day he'll show us some 3D printing. Maybe. Somebody said, what kind of phone you got, Chef? Chuck did.
iPhone, AT&T.
Hold on, somebody said.
AT&T, and you know, well, me and my daughter phone, my phone bill $220 a month. You know what I mean?
It's easy, $110 per person.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think that was enterprise or a business use for $200. Because like you said, we have no use for to win an argument like on YouTube, or us to, if it was a student just to get a pick. No. Desmond said, this is gun stuff. I don't know anything about that. Allegedly. I don't. A gun, as in 3D printed gun, is the lower receiver, which is the serialized portion of a gun. And since they are printed, they don't have a serial number, making them undetectable to law enforcement. But I would say this. You can leave a fingerprint and you can leave DNA on it. If you find the weapon and if you find the perpetrator. And that's just from watching TV, right? And cameras everywhere, locations everywhere. So all of these things a person may do to subvert, say, the law, or to hide their actions, you're up against it's a hell of a lot. Well, I don't have a phone. I left my phone at home. I don't have location on. I don't have this on. Your neighbor does, or the person that just rolled past you. Mm-hmm. You know, they have the bicycle you riding, the book bag you wearing, the coat you wearing. They don't just have facial recognition. They have like item recognition, man. You can do that in your Google, right? You can aim your phone at something and it'll tell you what the hell it is. It'll tell you where to buy it, how much it costs, how many days it'll take to get to you. So yeah, if you're gonna commit some crimes, you get away with it, you up against some serious technology out here. Logic, what's going on, man?
Logic sleep.
That's it, man. What else going on in the news? Yeah, I think that do not pay $200 a month for a chat GPT.
ChatGPT.
Hell no. We were gonna do a show on music news, but that may end up talking about Jigga Man.
Yeah, that
And we don't want to upset Brass, so
yeah. Yeah, that Jay-Z, man, that's now they saying one of the accusers is a male. Yeah, so it's multiple. We're finding out now that there's multiple accusers that then came forward. And we know this because of the response that Jay-Z team gave. They the ones who said it was a John Doe. John Doe is a male.
it's a man. Yes, sir.
Yeah. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
So, you know.
I don't know what the
it's nasty.
statute of limitations is on this stuff though. Like, is it just civil now at this point, or is there an
No,
actual? Well, in New York
the
State, you
the
can. I
lawyer,
forgot.
yeah,
I forgot.
the lawyer actually said that he already been cooperating with the FBI. So there has to be a criminal element to it that he had to report. That's still valid because he said the FBI been in close contact with him, so they have everything he had. You know, so yeah, it's about to get nasty. You
Wow.
know what I mean? It's about to get nasty. So
Now would be the time to be a lawyer because they about to get paid. They about to get paid. Send the kids to law school, y'all. That's where the money at.
yeah.
You get to be in the middle, not left or right. Okay.
But I was talking to my students today, and it's crazy because I'm like, that's a hit to my whole era at this point. You know what I mean? Because we always argue in eras of hip hop, and you know, they swear this new generation is, you know, just light years better than, you know, 90s and early 2000 rappers. You dig what I'm saying? So with Puffy and them going down, now Jay-Z was the head of that late 90s, early 2000s push in hip hop. So once he go down, he was, you know, the one who made it to $1 billion. So Jay-Z is like the cream of the crop for late 90s, early 2000 rappers. And for him to be now caught up into this, it's yeah, I feel some type of way about it.
That's the end of it for us, huh? Our era.
Yeah, yeah.
We
They
done.
take Jig
We
out,
out of
yeah.
here. Yeah. We definitely out of here. I said it earlier this year. Hip hop is 50 years old. Let's let the young people go ahead and do what they doing. Let's stop it right there. You know, 2 years ago, I think it's 52 now, 51, whatever. We should stop it at 50. Let the young people do something else, man. It's problematic. It was problematic then, but you know, it's hard to blame just individuals because you got a lot of corporate influence. You know, these people ain't get it out the mud, people. You know, corporations ain't get it out the mud, bro. Distribution companies, streaming services, media companies, they are not get it out the mud. They operate, you know, in business and a long running business. The music industry didn't start in the 90s or the 2000s or nah. And two, a lot of these young people in court too, shit, they just can't be shitting on us from our era. They should be learning, right? What was the high profile case this year?
Yeah, I don't want to blame corporations for what individual man does with his private area. Like that's not even you know what I mean? Like that's crazy to me.
No,
You know what I
I
mean?
was saying it as us being the face of degradation and the bad part of it. Like, no, we're not. That's part of the industry. Rock and roll, they had heavy drug use, heavy abuse across the board, just in rock and roll alone. Disco had its vices with drugs, and at that time, LBGTQ was not accepted publicly, right? And that was heavy in the disco era. And so you can go through the decades. Like right now, what do we have? We got a lot of RICO charges. We got a lot of murders, allegedly. We have a lot younger people being involved now with these cases. So yeah, but it doesn't get popularized without the help of a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. It doesn't get popularized without the help of a distribution network. It just doesn't work that way. I don't care how good you are. If you can't get it distributed and put in people's, radar or in their purview, you can be good as you want. So, there's a lot of people better than Taylor Swift. You'll never know. You would never see them, or Beyonce or whoever. You'll never see them because they're not in that, even social media. People thought, well, I can have my own platform on YouTube and Twitter. I can put my own music and things out there. Then what did they find out? Algorithm is why people will see your work or they won't see your work. So we find these things out as we go. So, Jigga man. So what y'all think? Y'all think he gonna end up like Puffy in MDC down in Brooklyn or Manhattan, wherever he at? Or y'all think this just all gonna go to court? Because if they can put Puffy and lock him up, no bail, no bond. I don't know, bro. That I would say nobody untouchable. Harvey Weinstein is in jail, ain't he? Yeah, he's in jail. The big movie producer. So if they put people like that behind bars, you think these moguls stand a chance? Nah, I don't know, man. I'd be interested in Brass's take on that. Peace to the chat. Like, share, subscribe to the Carnivorous Podcast. What up, Corey? TriMedia, Logic, Brass, DQ. Like, share, subscribe to both channels. Please. If you have a channel, put it in the chat. Or a question, put it in the chat. Don't listen to Sosa. Sosa World TV. Don't do it. Uh-oh. Somebody said what? I'm going to leave that comment on the screen with those two people. Trump gonna pardon them. What do y'all think? That's crazy. Y'all keep thinking Trump is for the people. Trump is for Trump. Trump is for Trump. If he pardon them, it's out of spite. It's out of spite. That man don't operate off policy or things like that. He gonna do what's best for him. Logic, where you at, man? Did we lose Logic? How do you sleep? It's 11 o'clock here, so it gotta be what? 10 o'clock where you at? 9? What else going on? How did I pop in here and not get this? And I'm doing the show. What else? My bad. I didn't mean to go by it so fast. Oh, that's what did it. He couldn't get with nobody. Somebody got to go. If I can't get with somebody, got to go. Luigi Mangione's back pain was so intense that he couldn't be physically intimate with anyone, former landlord says. Oh, that's why he did it, y'all. Allegedly. That's crazy. Back pain? Logic, where you at, bro? Nobody? Chef, you got it? You gonna hold it down? Anybody want to come up on the panel?
Man, I think Chef done dipped on you too, man.
Chef, everybody gone, huh? Oh,
everybody dipped on you.
Hey, we got 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. They got 20 seconds. I put the link in the chat. Somebody want to come up talking about it. If not,
we gonna make moves.
Matter of fact, yeah, we ain't even gonna do. You're right. What we got? Hour and a half show. Not bad, Joe.
No, not bad at all.
Thanks to everybody. Stop there. Let me stop sharing.
Let me go in. I'm gonna drop something for him. I'm gonna play this windshield.
Hey, you go ahead. I'll be right back, and then we'll close it out.
Bet.
Pick your skill set, cause you know I got a lot of. It's all mad at God if you talk about your body. Money making Mitch, nah, money make a lot of problems, but a little more probably solve it. So cut up all the talking. Left at home, young Macaulay Culkin. Creating liquor boy, shit exhausted. Mean I'm making bars, nigga, awful. Rhymes tailor made like the suits for your troops in a coffin. Floating on the air, I'm feeling the wind chill. Flow about as cold as the snow in your windshield. Hit it by the lows, you blowing like pinwheels. Coming from the soul and did it like 10 years. Plus, niggas get mad when we switch gears. Clutch, steady get popped, now bitch chill. Hush, steady don't know how a pimp feel. Have to get a meal, even if it kills me. Filthy, silky Johnson, how they hating on him. Niggas talking shit, but I'm not responding. Oxford dictionary words can't define him. Tupac miss where I came inside him. Top 5 pin when I'm locked in. Being locked out is never an option. I'm a pops now, utilizing the clock spin. It's a different hustle for this struggle. 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 Floating in the air, I'm feeling the wind chill. Blow about as cold as the snow in your windshield. Get it by the lows, you blowing like pinwheels. Coming from the soul that did it like 10 years. Plus, niggas get mad when we switch gears. Clutch, steady get popped, now bitch chill. Hush, steady don't know how a pimp feel. Have to get a meal, even if it kills me. I'm as tight as a tourniquet fit. Turned up off the liquor, I'm turned up and lit. I'm a country boy, country is turned up in grits. Behind the turntable, DJing turned up and shit. I'm the perfect electrical grid. Quite shocking to these women that's testing the riz. I got bars like them boys doing maximum bids. I got some smoke, but you know I got more at the crib. The way you capping, you should franchise a couple of lids. The way I'm snapping like a gator protecting his kids. I'm Dr. Pepper till he's soft throwing heckling pigs. But when my soda pop, these women be catching the fizz. I'm in my bag like hash brown from McDonald's. Trash bag all of these hazmat and fake rhymes. Nigga that made moves that make commas. The type of nigga that pour dollars and break mamas. Yeah, we up in trees in this bitch. The temper smokers gonna like them trees in this bitch. Yeah, I see some soldiers now at ease in this bitch. Call me rich boy, high through some D's on that bitch. Yeah, we up in trees in this bitch. Tell my smokers gonna like them trees in this bitch. Yeah, I see some soldiers now at ease in this bitch. Call me rich boy, high through some D's on this bitch. Floating in the air, I'm feeling the wind chill. Flow by as cold as the snow in your windshield. Get it by the lows, we blowing like pinwheels. Coming from the soul that did it like 10 years. Plus, niggas get mad when we switch gears. Clutch, steady get popped, now bitch chill. Hush, steady don't know how a pimp feel. Have to get a meal, even if it kills me.
TriMedia Records.
This is my story. You get the story.
On your ID, you see me calling nigga. Out of this league, a workaholic nigga. Nickname, big game, big thing. Handle his business, he never switched lanes. Had some brain surgeries in high school. Still came out that bitch a top dude. Moved to the city of the Mavericks. Came out this bitch dropping classics. We gotta wait, what? Took a little minute, was patient, but now we take it. Anytime we want this game, my situation is entertainment intertwined with information. Alchemist soul, how we move the tassel and roll. It's amazing how we can turn something brass to gold. And we steady making hits. Architect with the prop in the scripts. It's logical that the product will flip. My boy Chef did the lineup, I'm fresh in the bitch. Carnivorous Podcast and newest show on the list. DQ on the boat, so I'm rocking the ship. So all the music gon' be dope and the artist legit. Hold my beer, concrete cord, then stepped in the door. See, that's my man and he reppin' for show. And true savior's a player with flavor. Lexicon Taylor, lines on point like a laser. We need that paper, we building the vault. Cause you niggas don't listen, y'all be waiting to talk. Lack accountability and try to make it our fault. But opposing us is trying to arm wrestle the hawk. You coming up short on your re-up, nigga we up. Really wouldn't want to be up. I kick my feet up. My beef is wagyu and my truck is all speakers. Bills is all blue and my blunt is all reefer. With possible deniability, that boy eater. High quality whack juice by the liter. They like to call us ops, we got Oppenheimer features. That's the bomb out on the island just to teach you.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. Y'all be safe. Have a good holiday with your family. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all have a good night. All right. Peace.